Welcome, weebs, gamers, and nerds alike. As winter season comes to a close, it's finally time to rank every show that aired in winter 2024. Now, there were a lot of shows that came out in winter, so please bear with me as I could not watch all of them. But I did watch a large amount of them, and there were a lot of bangers. So, without further ado, let's get into the rankings, starting with the first continuation from fall in Undead Unluck. Undead Unluck was pretty good. The animation was pretty darn solid, and I really like Fuko and Andy's relationship, and it just grew more and more. The action was definitely there. The twist I was not expecting, and I am actually kind of excited to see where this goes after season 1. So I think it's only fair to put this in a high B tier. It didn't do anything outstanding. Actually, I'll put it high A tier. And the reason I'm going to put it there is primarily because it does something kind of new. It makes, because we've seen the zombie trope before. We've seen like people have undead powers, but the way Andy uses his undead powers is kind of unique, and he just makes it feel fresh. Next, we got Shangri-La Frontier. This had some downright gorgeous animation, especially in the fight against Weatherman the Tomb Guard. Holy crap, was that clean. It's exciting. It really, after actually playing an MMO, it really feels like the person's playing a game, and you kind of like feel the stakes, like being the first one to actually ever complete something in an MMO. Like that has to feel like just ridiculous, and it captures that feel almost perfectly. All the characters are really cool and likable. The music is darn good. I wasn't as big of a fan as Danger Danger as their first opening, but it is still pretty good, and I definitely would probably have to put this S tier. I don't think there's anything that like holds it back, and I feel it as a gamer, it perfectly encapsulates what gaming is in an anime form, which you don't really see done very well that often. I have to admit, I didn't watch this one. I didn't watch this one. I don't know what that is. We're gonna, no, we'll do it now. Solo Leveling. I mean, like, was it really that good? Was it really? I mean, the animation was stellar. The opening was a banger. The fight scenes were choreographed amazingly, especially the Egress fight. You had some absolutely iconic moments, especially the Death is Gonna Change Me song. It kept you on your toes. It filled that hype. So obviously, it's S tier. I mean, if the voice actor is literally coughing up blood from how much he was screaming in an episode, I mean, come on. You gotta put it S tier. Then we got Classroom of the Elite Season 3. Now, this is personal bias. I really, really, really enjoy Classroom of the Elite, especially Ayana Koji. Just seeing how he comes up with different characters and like how he's going to use them. His just intelligence is insane, and it's just such a fun watch that, I'm going to put it high. I think I liked season 2 a little bit more than season 3. But that reveal at the ending where they're getting somebody else from the White Room, that, like, season 4 going, year 2 is probably going to be insane. I'm excited to see where this goes. And, like, part of me really wants to pick up the light novel or the manga, but for now, I think I'm going to put Classroom of the Elite high A tier. I don't think it does what these two do and like has that kind of excitement. Granted, it's not that kind of show, but it is a really, really good show, and I think season 3 was phenomenally well done. Next, we got Mashle season 2. I think this is gonna have to be high again. It's such a fun, relaxing show to watch. Watching MASH just come up with brand new ways to just deal with magic, whether it's turning the heaviest wand that nobody could lift and just turning it into a tennis racket to just bully another like god of a wand. Like, man's just bullies a god by playing tennis with it. It's hilarious. MASH is such a fun character. And I think this was season 2 was about as far as I got in the manga. And so I have no idea what happens next, but oh boy. I think, and just the way that people pulled together at the end, celebrating MASH, I think this it has to go A tier. I don't think it's as creative or as good as these two, but I do think that Mashle season 2 earns a high A rank. It's just that much fun and that good. Next we got Chain Soldier. I haven't watched it. I've heard some things about it, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't have a high dive, so I've heard pretty good things though. Next we have Delicious in Dungeon. I think this has that same creativity as Undead Unluck. I'm gonna put it S tier. I think it's that good and that like funny and relaxing to watch. Damian Haas does a great job as Leos. I'll give it to him. He does a good job. And I just like the creativity of like finding different monsters and finding different ways to cook them, finding different uses for them that you don't usually see in media. And also like the episode with the magic armor. That was kind of really, you hadn't really seen somebody do something like that, with the fact that instead of it being like magically animated, it's controlled by like a colony of like mollusks that connect together to like control the armor. And it's just that kind of creativity and like nuance that I think really elevates the show. And we get more of it this spring with Core 2. And I think it's just going to be more and more of the same, which is a phenomenal thing. And it's one of the best fantasy shows we've gotten, like pure fantasy, in a while. Next, we got Sign of Affection. I'm going to put this high B tier because I can't put everything up here. Sign of Affection was actually really heartwarming because it's about a girl who's deaf and she meets a guy on a train who like helps her out, and she just kind of like falls for him, and they're in college, and they end up just kind of falling for each other, and he wants to like learn about sign language and kind of broaden his horizons, and she wants to learn more about the world and explore her horizons. And it feels so heartwarming, and it's just like, I wish there was more of this in the world. As cliche as that is, it makes you feel good. It's one of those really feel good shows that like not a single episode makes you feel bad. Like you're just rooting for them and you're just happy. And so I think that's why this definitely deserves a high B tier. It is nowhere near down here. I didn't watch this one. I didn't watch this one. And this is the trifecta of creativity. And I'm going to put a high B tier. I don't know. So the wrong way to use healing magic, I think the way that it's unique is the fact that it has a healer that instead of focusing on healing other people, he heals himself to go past human limits, which I personally haven't seen before. And I think it's a really cool take on, using healing magic. Instead of, healing others and being that background support character. He's on the front lines fighting everybody because he's ridiculously strong, because he constantly heals his muscles and his body while he's training so that he can train more. And I haven't seen that before, really. I mean, it might have been somewhere, but I think it's a really cool take on that trope, and I think the creativity earns it a high B tier. I think that was the right place to put it. Next, we have The Witch and the Beast. I don't know why they used this picture, because they show up in like 2 episodes, but it was another fun show. I really enjoyed it. I really liked Guido's appearance, especially once, she broke the curse. That was really cool. Some of the fights were kind of cool. The magic system's unique, and not unique, but like it's cool, and I like seeing those runes go across, and the scene with the necromancy was actually like pretty kind of cool. Overall, I think this is a really fun it's not necessarily fun, but it's a good show and a good watch, and I think it's severely underrated. I haven't really heard anybody talking about The Witch and the Beast. I don't know why. Season 2, like when they start exploring vampires, is going to be really freaking cool, I think. And just its style, it is stylish, gosh darn it. So 100% this earns a B rank. As you can tell, so far we have had a banger of a season. And dude, spring I think is just going to elevate this even more. Hokkaido Girls are super adorable. I'm going to put C tier. It was okay. It's fun. It's cute. It's not my thing. If you're into that kind of ecchi stuff, definitely pick it up. I mean, it's cute. From what I've heard from other YouTubers and stuff like that and seen, it's apparently like really encapsulates the Hokkaido area really well. I don't know. I've never been. I wish I could, but that's beside the point. It's a good show. The animation's pretty clean. And it's cute. It's adorable. It's not my cup of tea, but if it is yours, I mean, I think it has reason to be at least here, but this is where I think I'd put it. My instant death ability is super overpowered. I'm going to put here. I haven't watched it. I also haven't heard good things about it. Granted, it's kind of like your really typical overdone isekai trope, but gushing over magical girls, I also haven't seen. Apparently these Chain Soldier and that are like neck and neck. If that's your cup of tea, I understand. It's fair, but I haven't watched it. Next, we got Metallic Rouge, which was Studio Bones' 25th anniversary project. And like the others, I'm going to put a B. It's going to be lower B tier, but its animation was cool. The music was actually pretty darn good. The story is kind of interesting about humans fighting like an alien race, and they create these robots, and of course they end up like enslaving them and creating like a rule they can't hurt humans. And so there were 9 robots that if you combine their cores, they could undo that trance basically. It was a cool idea. The fight scenes were chef's kiss. They were pretty darn cool, especially like the pseudo mech fight, like because they're all in like pseudo mechs. And I highly recommend watching the show. It's only 12 episodes. I don't think they're going to do anything more with it. I think it was just a nice little anniversary project. But overall, it was pretty fun. And I definitely think if you have a chance and you don't really have anything else to watch, pick this up. It's a fun, like, definitely encapsulates the word fun. Tales of Wedding Rings. I'm going to put D. It's not what I thought it was. It is. It is very much, you know what I'm saying. That's about all I can say about it. without getting demonetized on YouTube. Even not like we're making money, but it's, if you like ecchi and like borderline like ecchi, it's your cup of tea. It's not mine. That's really all I gotta say about it. The story's not that good, honestly, and overall it's just kind of bleh. Next we got Ishura. I'm gonna put this high C tier. I think it has the ability to go high B tier. Low B tier, but maybe mid B tier. But I think C tier is where it belongs, solely because the animation... No, see, the animation was clean. It was good. The story was kind of cool. Having like a hero beat the Devil King, and they don't know who it was, so they're gonna hold a tournament with the strongest people. So you have people like, if you watched our shameless plug, my video on the winter 2024 anime, there's like a person that can speak words into existence. There's a person that is guarded by an angel that is darn near omnipotent. There's a swordsman that can cut through anything. And watching them all clash was actually really well done. It was done by Studio Passion. I'll let you do your research on them. But overall, it was good. I don't think it's great. I think it's just kind of... It's good. It's not bad. It's not horrible. But... fine. I'll put it low B tier. It's not bad. It's not horrible. It's just... It's good. It's a good show. That's pretty much it. I didn't watch that. Next, we have Sasaki and Peeps. I need to finish this. I really do. As it sits right now, I would probably put this mid B tier, if not irking into low A tier. It's good. It kind of has its own unique spin on the isekai trope, where this just kind of, he's kind of sad. His life is kind of leaving him, and he's a salary man, and he finds a bird because he's like, I just want a pet. And that bird ends up being a star sage, ultimate like wizard from another world, and he ends up like getting powers from it. And there's even powers in his world. The animation's actually pretty good, surprisingly, and it feels happy. Like, I just feel good watching the show, and it encapsulates that just kind of go lucky feel. And I also just really like shows that have middle-aged to or like older MCs, especially in these kind of genres like isekai, because it gives its own unique spin, because they have more life experience, yada yada yada. So I definitely think if you want an underrated show, and I think it's starting to get like more traction, but if you want an underrated show, give Sasaki and Peeps a watch. It's good. I think this is like, I don't know what that is. I think this is Fluffy Paradise. I didn't watch it. Sorry. This is bad. It's like it's a tank anime. This did the healer right. This did the tank wrong. It's boring. It's bad. The CG is kind of awful. The characters are bland. I mean, it really doesn't do anything right. Like, I really don't know what else to say about it. It's just not a good show. That's it. I didn't watch that. Buchigiri, this is gonna actually probably get me some hate. I didn't like it. I did not like that main character. He's kind of... How do you like him? In the like 3 episodes I watched, he simps over a girl that really doesn't want anything to do with him. He treats his best friend that looks up to him like a bigger brother, like an older brother, treats him like crap. And his like only goal is to get some poo-tang. Like, bro, what? And he just whines and is upset all the time. He's just not a likable character. I really didn't like this. I don't like the story of him like matching with a genie and getting like powers so he can throw one nasty right hook. Like, it's not good. I didn't like it. If it's your thing, good for you. I'm glad it, makes some people enjoy it. I don't like it. I don't think it's a good show. Now we got Frieren. I don't think there's any question where this goes. Frieren is the highest rated show on my anime list for a reason. They don't have to go at because it's more of an adventure it's more of an adventure show than an action show. Like, yeah, it has action, but it doesn't need it. The story is so well written and the characters are so well done that it doesn't need the action. But when it does have action, oh my god, is it some of the best animation you will see. Just wow. The fight scene in the labyrinth against Frieren's double. The fight scene in the first test of the first magical exam. Just good lord. The show could not do wrong. It could try its hardest. It could not do wrong. Everything about this show, the pacing, the plot, the voice acting, the characters, the story, the animation, the music, every single thing about this show is darn near perfect. I know people have said that a lot, and it might sound facetious and it might sound, like hyperbole, but I promise you, Frieren is one of the best shows, not even just anime, one of the best shows out there. So I highly recommend you give Frieren a watch. And you know what? I'm going to throw Apothecary Diaries in that same argument. I don't think it has the same highs that Frieren does, but its storytelling, its characters, and its writing are darn near peak. So many good things about the show, and it just keeps you hooked. It doesn't do anything like flashy or extravagant, but it sinks that hook into you, and it just it slowly brings you in. And both of these shows could do no wrong. They're so good and so much fun to watch, and I'm kind of sad that they're both over for a while. So if you have a chance, 28 episodes I think for Frieren and 25 for Apothecary Diaries, watch them. You're doing yourself a disservice by not watching them. The Undead Unwanted Adventurer. I liked it. It was fun. I mean, it doesn't do anything special. It doesn't do anything great, but it's cool. About a guy, dying and coming back as a monster and just kind of evolving through that tree. It's cool. The animation's fine. The action scenes are fine. The story's fine. Like, overall, it's fine. I'd put it high C tier. And the last, but definitely not least one, we have Ninja Kamui. This caught me by surprise. The first episode just went off the rails. Holy crap. It's on Adult Swim. And if you want like a pure ninja action anime, this is your go-to. Holy crap, is it good. The fight scenes are just keep you on the edge of your seat. The music's not too bad either. And the characters are reasonably likable, the main characters. And so, yeah, definitely 100%. I think this earns a low A tier. I think this earns low A tier. That ends our video on the Winter 2024 anime tier list. Since it was a really big season and there were a chunk of shows I didn't watch, let us know in the comments some of the shows you enjoyed and what your rankings for winter 2024 are. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends, and we will see you in the next video.